From racking up millions of players at a time in every single tournament they hosted, to the numbers slowly dwindling and old experienced players slowly quitting the game. What happened to Fortnite competitive and how did they save everything? Introducing a new type of tournament that brought almost all the players back to the game. Let's discuss it now, but first let's take a trip back on how Fortnite competitive came into prevalence. First up though, make sure you like the video for the algorithm, and thank you to Luminify for being a positive member of the JKC community. Competitive Fortnite started off as a third-party tournaments only scene, hosted for the biggest content creators that Fortnite had to offer. Let's go, baby! It mainly consisted of events such as Fortnite Friday, featuring some of the biggest creators such as Ninja, Tfue, Daquan, Courage, and Tim the Tatman. The players' skills were incredibly low, with most of them not even being very good at building. Custom matches were not available, so the tournaments were literally just a kill race in regular Fortnite matches. Admittedly, it was very primitive, but it was Fortnite's beginning. The first official Fortnite event was the Fortnite Summer Skirmish, and it was not advertised too heavily. It flew under the radar for most people, and a lot of people didn't know it was on. After the event happened, most people realised that it wasn't advertised too heavily because Epic Games knew it might be awful, and awful it was.
Epic Games admit that Fortnite Summer Skirmish Week 1 was a mess. The first official Fortnite tournament was a disaster. Fortnite's first Summer Skirmish event was a complete flop.
Their first official Fortnite event turned out to be a disaster, and after 4 games out of the scheduled 10, the event was cancelled due to oppressive lag. The format was pretty dreadful and players had no incentive to fight, meaning that the viewing experience for people watching was tedious. And a lot of critics said that compared to the normal Fortnite Friday events, this was a clear step backward for the community. Furthermore, one of the clear standout quotes from this tournament was, "Imagine having a $250,000 tournament and not giving a single piece of information about it other than some leaks from the participants." It was clear that Fortnite had a lot to work on in terms of their progression of advertising the tournaments they put on, and they eventually got to work on some proper in-game tournaments that were properly run. One of their main mistakes for the first couple of competitions of competitive Fortnite was the age rating you had to be to play. An age of 16 was required to compete, which meant a complete lack of audience for competitive, as most of the players were under 16 that played Fortnite. Once they finally reduced the age rating and players like Benji Fishy and Mongrel could compete, the Scallywag Cup and the Black Heart Cup were some of the first cups with the reduced age.
Kyle Jackson is so good at Fortnite that he's been signed to play with a team of professional gamers.
And these spawned the official start of Fortnite competitive, with the players we mentioned earlier like Benji Fishy and Mongrel, as well as Mr. Savage dominating the scene. Competitive really took off in seasons 8 and 9, but one of the biggest events in Fortnite history was just around the corner. The Fortnite World Cup wasn't just the biggest esports event ever, it also boosted Fortnite for a multitude of reasons. The age being lower meant that even more people were competing, and Fortnite was starting to become from a popular game into a worldwide phenomenon for competing. Also, the prize pool, the fact anyone could compete, and the promise of qualification to an in-person LAN event with $3 million on the line was too much for people to just sit by and let happen. Most people at least gave it an attempt of qualifying. Many could argue that this is the biggest Fortnite competitive has ever been, with Fortnite being the main discussion of many American talk shows after Booga's win. Fortnite was destined to drop off afterwards.
This cup is yours one more time, your world champion, Booga!
Granted, they did the best they could trying to stop this drop-off, announcing FNCS from Season X onwards, which is a big tournament they're holding every season for each region. FNCS stood for Fortnite Championship Series. These included a series of qualifiers to a main event called Grand Final, where the best of the best on each region would fight it out for the title, but not quite as large as the World Cup, not by a long shot. But it was a fun way to keep track of each players in each region and how they were getting on. From early Chapter 2 onwards, we started to have 2 issues. Not big issues, but growing ones when given the opportunity. The first of these, due to lockdown, player levels went through the roof, making it hard for new players to enter the scene. the skill level was massive for the average player. All this time in lockdown turned these Fortnite players into beasts. The second issue was that money was being given out to the top 10 in most tournaments, meaning that most tournaments were being run by the same players, and the mid-level pros felt a little bit unrewarded. They had a massive amount of PR, however they had barely any earnings despite being some of the best players in the world. They solved these issues in the best way possible in 2020, having a frosty frenzy. Allowing that more players were better at the game now, they completely took the prize pool down the leaderboard, meaning that instead of the top 10 making money like in a normal cash cup, or even top 5, Frosty Frenzy awarded the top 400 trios on EU $400. It took place on the 10th, 11th and 12th of December 2020 and had an insane prize pool, as I just mentioned, meaning that this event was secured in the history of Fortnite forever as one of the most loved. As mentioned, they fixed our issues we identified before, with the prize pool not being spread out enough, so the top pros were making a load of money and everyone else wasn't. Also, there were 4 or so sessions. People who came top 3k in the first session felt like they could make money in the second, third or fourth sessions, which is good because opportunities are everything in Fortnite. You might have thought this was a new age of bright Fortnite content for competitive, however it is like Fortnite didn't notice how much of a positive effect Frosty Frenzy had on the community. They went straight back to hosting top heavy prize pools throughout the next year. Competitive Fortnite was still great for the top tier pros. These pros that you would see every single event, but the mid-tier / low-tier pros that are still very good at the game had tasted their success of Frosty Frenzy and were now back to being unhappy. Even having the Grand Royale was not really enough to keep Fortnite fans engaged now the top players are winning every single tournament. There was no new up-and-coming talent breaking the scene and coming into the limelight, meaning the fans had started to become a little bit lackluster after seeing so many teams they recognised at the top. Everyone needs a new underdog, everyone needs some new players, so how are Fortnite gonna fix it? They fixed it in Chapter 4 Season 2. They brought the addition of Victory Cups. There were 3 hours and 10 games in the first round where top 2,000 would qualify. In the second round there was 3 hours and 10 games and every win would be $100. They saw this as a great opportunity to recapitalize on the Frosty Frenzy success and get some new names with earnings into the limelight. They kept these for 2 seasons before making some pretty big adjustments. In Chapter 4 Season 4, firstly, they took away an hour from the first round, making it 2 hours and 7 games. But they increased the amount of people that qualify, making it from 2,000 to 7,500 players, almost the entirety of the Fortnite Tracker leaderboard. And the second round was 1 hour and 3 games. This was another massive change, making even more people qualify to round 2, meaning that even more people have the opportunity to make earning. The opportunities of easy earnings mean that the Fortnite player base had never been so excited to play the game and grind the game. We had a whole new era of people grinding every single day, trying to get earnings because they know they were easier to get than ever.
Chill.
Oh my god.
Get in.
Oh my god! I thought that guy was gonna clutch it from the bottom. Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go. He almost had a storm.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Bro, these kids are cracked,
Oh
bro.
my gosh, let's go, bro. Yes.
Oh. Bro.
Then in Chapter 5 Season 1, which was just last season, they increased the qualifying again to 11,500. There were now more people qualifying to round 2 than even on the Fortnite Tracker leaderboard. They must have seen how much it was increasing engagement on the game that they decided to give away even more money. The first change they made from top 2,000 to 7,500 actually didn't increase the money they were giving away, it just spread it out more because the rounds were reduced in length. But this new change to 11,500 qualifiers did increase the amount of players that were making money and did increase the amount of money they were giving away. It created the hype for the mid-tier players, creating motivation even to myself to play the game even more often. Therefore, in my opinion, this was effectively the game mode, the tournament that saved Fortnite. It went from being a lackluster esport with only the top people making money to now anyone that can hop on the game and after about 6 months get good enough to make money. One game is nothing in finals. anyone can win a game. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and make sure you like the video for the algorithm. Furthermore, check out the one on screen. It's going to show you the top 10 controller players from Chapter 5 Season 1. I think it's a super interesting watch, so go give it a go. I'll see you in the next one.